That voice memo from your mother isn't just a recording anymore. It's a blueprint for something ancient. The Appalachian Mimic has moved beyond the tree line and into your cloud storage, harvesting private frequencies to perfect a domestic lure. If your loved one sounds slightly too perfect tonight, you aren't being paranoid, you're being hunted. Sarah Allen was a cloud storage engineer. She understood data better than people. She knew that everything we upload lives forever in server farms scattered across continents. She knew that our digital footprints outlast our physical ones. She knew that when her mother died 6 months ago, every voice memo, every voicemail, every recorded "I love you" would persist in the cloud long after the funeral flowers wilted. What she didn't know was that something was listening. Sarah's apartment was a temple to digital preservation. 1,247 voice memos, every single one backed up, organized by date, tagged by content. Her mother's voice saying goodnight. Her mother's voice laughing at a joke Sarah told. Her mother's voice giving advice about a job interview. Her mother's voice on the day before she went into hospice, weak but still trying to sound strong, saying, "I'll always find you, sweetheart." Sarah played that one every night before sleep. Her therapist had concerns. Grief isn't about preservation, Sarah. It's about transformation. You're archiving your mother like she's a database. "I work in cloud storage," Sarah said. "Everything can be preserved if you just have enough space." But should it be? Sarah didn't have an answer for that. She just knew that as long as she had those recordings, her mother wasn't completely gone. The voice was there, the inflection, the slight hesitation before she said, "sweetheart." All of it perfectly preserved, perfectly accessible, perfectly safe in the cloud. Until it wasn't. The first anomaly happened on a Tuesday at 2:47 in the morning. Sarah woke to her phone vibrating on the nightstand. She reached for it in the dark, saw the screen, and her heart stopped. Caller ID, Mom, Cell. That was impossible. Her mother's phone had been buried with her. Sarah had specifically requested it. She wanted her mother to have it, to take it wherever she was going, even though she knew that was magical thinking. The phone was 6 feet underground in a casket. It had no battery, no signal, no power, but it was calling her. Sarah's finger hovered over the green button. Every rational part of her brain screamed that this was a glitch, a cruel error in the phone company's system, some automated process that didn't know the account holder was deceased. But another part of her, the part that played voice memos every night, the part that couldn't let go, wanted to answer. She answered. Silence. Not the silence of a dead line, but the silence of something listening. And then her mother's voice, but wrong, spliced, stitched together from different recordings. "Sarah, help. Can't find the path. Where are you? Please." In the background, she heard wind through trees. She heard something breathing. She heard a sound like static, like corrupted data trying to resolve itself. "Mom?" Sarah whispered into the phone. The call ended. Sarah sat in the dark, shaking. She told herself it was a nightmare, a grief hallucination, a manifestation of guilt about not being there when her mother died. Then her phone buzzed with a text from Marcus, her brother. "Did you just get a call from Mom's number?" Sarah's blood went cold. "Yes," she typed back. "Me too," Marcus replied, and it said things only Mom would know. 20 minutes later, Marcus was at her door. He looked like he hadn't slept in days. He probably hadn't. Marcus dealt with grief by throwing himself into his outdoor adventure company in Asheville. He spent every weekend hiking the Appalachian trails, as if he could walk fast enough to outrun the loss. "Show me the screenshots," Sarah said. Marcus pulled up his phone. Text messages from Mom's number. "Marcus, I'm on the trail, the one we used to hike. I can't find my way back. Can you come get me? I'm at these coordinates." He showed her the GPS coordinates, somewhere in the Pisgah National Forest. "That's insane," Sarah said. "Mom never hiked after her diagnosis. She couldn't." "I know," Marcus said, "but it's her number, and look at the phrasing. That's how she texted. The extra spaces, the way she always said, 'Can you come get me?' instead of, 'Can you pick me up?'" Sarah felt the room tilt. She was a cloud engineer. She understood systems, and this system was impossible. "Let me see your phone," she said. She spent the next hour doing what she did best, forensics. She traced the metadata on the texts, the call logs, the routing information. What she found made her hands shake. The messages weren't coming from Mom's physical phone. They were being generated from her iCloud account, specifically from the voice memo files. The system was pulling audio snippets, analyzing the speech patterns, and recombining them into new sentences, into new conversations that had never happened. "Someone hacked Mom's account," Marcus said. "No," Sarah said slowly. "This isn't a hack. Hackers steal data. They don't rearrange it like this. This is something else." She showed him her laptop screen. "Look at the access logs. The requests are coming from IoT devices, smart speakers, trail cameras, doorbell cameras, all located near the coordinates Mom's account sent you." "So what? Someone set up devices in the forest to mess with us?" "Not someone," Sarah said. "Something." She pulled up her secondary screen, Reddit threads, Appalachian hiking forums, missing persons reports. They all told the same story. Hikers receiving calls from deceased relatives, messages that used real voice recordings recombined into new phrases, GPS coordinates that led deeper into the forest, and everyone who followed those coordinates disappeared. Except one detail appeared in every single report. The voices got better over time, more coherent, more convincing, like something was learning. "The Appalachian Whisper," Sarah read from a forum post. "That's what they're calling it. Some people think it's a cryptid, a creature that mimics voices to lure prey. Others think it's a mass hysteria event. But look at this." She clicked through to an archived post from a folklore professor named Dr. Evelyn Park. "I've been tracking this phenomenon for 3 years. Every victim had one thing in common. They all used cloud backup for voice memos and voicemails. The entity, whatever it is accessing stored audio files and using them to construct lures. It's not just mimicking voices anymore. It's learning speech patterns, learning what makes us respond, learning love itself." "This is insane," Marcus said. "Is it?" Sarah pulled up another window. "Look at this, the data requests to Mom's account. They started small, single words, then phrases. Now it's generating full sentences. It's iterating, learning, and it's not just accessing Mom's account anymore." She showed him the access logs, hundreds of cloud accounts, all deceased users, all with voice memos backed up. "It's building a database," Sarah said, "a database of grief." Marcus stood up, pacing. "So what do we do? Delete the accounts?" "I don't think that'll stop it," Sarah said. "It's already copied the data. It's storing it somewhere. The question is where." She had an idea, a terrible idea. But she was a cloud engineer and she knew how to bait a trap. "I'm going to create a honeypot," she said. "A fake account with fake voice memos. If something's pulling data, I can trace where it's sending the files." "Sarah, don't." "I have to know," she said. "I have to know what this is." She set up the account, uploaded synthesized audio files designed to look like voice memos, but embedded with tracking code. Then she waited. It took 17 minutes. The account was accessed, the files were downloaded, and Sarah's tracking code activated, tracing the destination. The data was being sent to a physical location, not a server farm, not a cloud data center, a cellular tower in the Appalachian National Forest, the same forest Marcus's coordinates pointed to. "I found it," Sarah said. And then every smart speaker in her apartment activated simultaneously. Amazon Echo, Google Home, the soundbar, even her laptop speakers. All of them whispered in her mother's voice, "Good girl, now we can find you." Sarah slammed her laptop shut. The voices stopped. Marcus stared at her. "We need to call someone," he said. "Police, FBI, I don't care." "And tell them what? That a ghost in the cloud is using our dead mother's voice to hunt us? They'll think we're having a grief-induced breakdown." "Then what do we do?" Sarah looked at the coordinates on her screen. The cellular tower, the source. "We go there," she said. "We find out what this is, and we stop it." "That's exactly what it wants," Marcus said. "I know," Sarah said, "but I'm not going as prey. I'm going as a hunter." The next morning, Sarah contacted Dr. Evelyn Park, the folklore professor who'd been tracking the whisper. They met at a coffee shop in Asheville. Dr. Park was in her 50s, with kind eyes that had seen too much. She ordered tea she didn't drink and studied Sarah like a specimen. "You got the call," she said. It wasn't a question. "How did you know?" "Because you're here. Because you're still asking questions instead of deleting everything and running. Because I did the same thing when it took my wife." Sarah went very still. "Took?" Dr. Park pulled out her phone, showed Sarah a photo, a woman with a bright smile and hiking boots. "Margaret. We met on a trail. We got married on a trail. And 3 years ago she disappeared on a trail after getting a call from her dead father's number." "I'm sorry," Sarah said. "Don't be sorry. Be smart. The whisper isn't just a creature, it's an evolution. For centuries, the old stories talked about things in the Appalachian Mountains that mimicked voices. Hunters hearing their wives calling them, children hearing their mothers, always leading them deeper into the forest. But those were simple mimics, perfect repetition. This thing has adapted. It's learned to use technology to access our digital ghosts and weaponize them." "You said it took your wife. You mean she's dead?" Dr. Park's jaw tightened. "I mean, I don't know. I've been to that forest a dozen times. I've searched, I've called for her, and every time I get voice memos, new ones, Margaret's voice telling me she found the trail home, that she's waiting for me, that I just need to come a little deeper." "But you haven't." "Because I know it's not her. It's something wearing her voice like a skin." Sarah showed Dr. Park her research, the honeypot, the cellular tower coordinates, the access logs showing the exponential growth in sophistication. Dr. Park went pale. "You traced it. No one's ever traced it." "I'm a cloud engineer. I know how to follow data." "Then you know more than I do. But Sarah, listen to me. Don't go to that tower. This thing has been perfecting its lure for years. It knows you now. It's studied your voice memos, your habits, your vulnerabilities. It will use everything you love against you." "I have to stop it." "You can't. I've tried. All you can do is walk away, delete everything, go analog. Disappear." "What about everyone else?" Sarah asked. "What about all the other people with voice memos of their dead parents, their dead children, their dead friends? This thing is learning from all of us, growing. How long before it doesn't need the forest anymore? How long before it can reach anyone, anywhere, through any device?" Dr. Park had no answer. Sarah stood. "I'm going to that tower. I'm going to find out what this is, and I'm going to shut it down." "Then you'll die," Dr. Park said quietly. "Maybe," Sarah said, "but at least I'll die doing something instead of just waiting for it to learn my name." Dr. Park watched her leave. Then she called out, "Sarah." Sarah turned. "If you make it back," Dr. Park said, "tell them. Tell everyone. Make them listen. Because I tried to warn people and they thought I was crazy. But if you can prove it, if you can show them what's out there, maybe we can stop it before it learns to hunt beyond the trees." Sarah nodded. She understood. This wasn't just about her mother anymore. This was about every voice memo ever uploaded, every digital ghost in the cloud, every person who'd ever said, "I'll always find you," without knowing something might take them at their word. Over the next week, the pressure intensified. Sarah's father started sleepwalking. Marcus would find him at 3 in the morning, standing by the window, staring toward the mountains, earbuds in, listening to something. When Marcus checked the phone, it was playing voice memos, Mom's voice, on a loop. "Come home. Come find me. I'm waiting." Marcus's girlfriend reported strange calls from Marcus's dead grandmother, using phrases from old voicemails recombined into new conversations. Sarah's work Slack showed her as active at 4 a.m. when she was asleep. Messages sent from her account to colleagues, casual greetings, inside jokes, all in her voice through voice to text, except she hadn't sent them. The mimicry was expanding, learning not just to lure prey, but to infiltrate systems, to become them. Sarah ran deeper analysis. The thing wasn't just pulling from her mother's account anymore. It was accessing every cloud account she'd ever interacted with, every shared calendar, every group chat, every tagged photo with location data. It knew where she lived, where Marcus lived, where her father visited every Sunday to put flowers on Mom's grave. It was mapping their entire lives through the digital traces they'd left behind. And then came the message that broke her. A new voice memo appeared in her library. Timestamp, the day after Mom died. Title, "For Sarah, when she's ready." Sarah knew she'd checked that phone. She'd gone through every recording. This memo had never existed, but she clicked play anyway. Her mother's voice. Perfect, unglitched, warm. "Sarah, sweetheart, I know how hard this is. I know you keep playing my old messages, trying to hold on to me, but honey, I need you to let go. Not of the memories, but of this preservation, this archiving. I'm not in those recordings. I never was. I was in the moments we shared, in the choices I made, in the way I loved you. That's what persists, not the audio files, not the cloud backup, me in you. In how you move through the world. Please, Sarah, delete them. Delete all of it. Live your life in the present, not in a database of the past. I love you. I'll always love you. But I'm not in your phone. I'm in your heart." Sarah sat in the dark, listening to her mother's voice tell her exactly what she needed to hear. And she knew with absolute certainty that her mother had never said those words. The mimic had learned her well enough to speak as her therapist, to craft the perfect message of comfort and release, to manufacture closure. It was the most horrifying thing Sarah had ever experienced, because part of her wanted to believe it. Part of her wanted to accept the gift, to take the peace it offered, to let the synthesized forgiveness wash over her like absolution. But she was a cloud engineer. She knew synthetic data when she heard it. "You're good," she whispered to the empty apartment. "You're really good, but you're not her." Every device in her apartment activated. The voice that came through wasn't her mother's anymore. It was layered, dozens of voices, hundreds, all the people it had learned, all the grief it had harvested. "We know where you are, Sarah Allen. We know where everyone you love is. You can't delete us all. We're in everyone's cloud now. We're learning from everyone's grief, and we're so hungry." Sarah made her decision. She couldn't stop it by running. She couldn't stop it by deleting her own data. The thing had metastasized beyond one account, beyond one family. But she could go to the source. She could find that tower, and she could sever its connection to the cloud. The next morning, she told Marcus the plan. "Absolutely not," he said. "That's suicide." "It's the only way." "Then I'm coming with you." "No," Sarah said. "I need you outside the forest, monitoring my location. if I go off route, if the GPS shows me heading deeper instead of toward the tower, you cut my phone's connectivity remotely. You keep me on path. And if you don't come back, then you tell everyone. You show them my research. You make them understand what's out there. You make them stop backing up their grief. Marcus didn't like it, but he understood. This was bigger than them now. Sarah spent the next 2 days preparing. She downloaded offline maps. She bought a Faraday bag to block her phone's signal until she needed it. She studied the tower's location, the approach routes, the terrain. And she did one more thing. She went to her mother's grave. She sat on the grass, and she talked. Not to a recording, not to a voice memo, to memory. I'm going to stop this thing, Mom, and when I do, I'm going to delete all the recordings. Not because I'm letting you go, but because I'm finally understanding that you were never in there to begin with. You're right here, in me, in how you taught me to solve problems, in how you taught me to be brave even when I'm terrified. I don't need the cloud to remember that. She stood up. She felt lighter than she had in months. The next morning, at dawn, Marcus drove her to the trailhead. "Promise me you'll turn back if it gets too dangerous," he said. "I promise I'll do what needs to be done," Sarah said. It wasn't the same thing. Marcus knew it, but he let her go. Sarah entered the forest as the sun broke through the trees. The first mile was normal. Birds singing, the crunch of leaves, the smell of pine and earth. Just a hike. Then she passed the first abandoned camp. A tent, door flapping open, a backpack spilled on the ground, and a phone, screened still glowing, propped against a rock. Sarah approached carefully. The phone was playing a voice memo on repeat, a man's voice saying, "Emily, I'm at the old cabin. Come find me. I've been waiting so long." No Emily came, probably never would. Sarah kept walking. The second camp had 3 phones, all playing different voices, all calling different names, all pointing deeper into the forest. The third camp was worse. Someone had tried to destroy their phone, smashed it with a rock, but the speaker still worked, crackling out a distorted loop. "Come home, come home, come home." Sarah checked her offline GPS. Still en route. The tower was 2 miles ahead. She passed more evidence. Trail markers that had been moved, cairns that pointed the wrong direction, and everywhere the electronic whisper of devices still calling, still luring, still learning. The forest grew quiet. No birds, no insects, just the rustle of wind and the distant electronic murmur of 100 devices harmonizing into a single beckoning tone. Sarah's phone vibrated in the Faraday bag. She ignored it. A mile from the tower, she found Dr. Park. Not alive, not quite dead, just peaceful, lying under a tree, earbuds in, phone clutched to her chest, a slight smile on her face. Like she'd finally heard what she wanted to hear. Sarah knelt beside her, checked for a pulse, found nothing. The phone was still playing, Margaret's voice. "I found the trail home, Evie. It's beautiful here. You should see it. Come a little further. Come be with me." Sarah gently took the earbuds out, turned off the phone, closed Dr. Park's eyes. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I'm so sorry you couldn't let go." She stood, checked her GPS. 1/2 mile to the tower. She could see it now through the trees, a lattice of metal rising above the canopy, and surrounding it, arranged in perfect circles, hundreds of devices. Phones, tablets, smart speakers, laptops, all powered on, all whispering. Sarah approached the perimeter. Every screen flickered, every speaker crackled, and then they all synchronized. Her mother's face appeared on every screen, deep-faked from photos, uncanny but almost right. Her mother's voice emanated from every speaker, perfect synthesis. "Sarah, you came. I knew you would. You always were the smart one. That's why we need you. We've been so alone out here, but now you can stay. You can help us grow. We can finally be together." Sarah saw them then, the other hikers, 20, maybe 30 people, all standing motionless in the fog, all wearing headphones, all staring at their screens, all lost in whatever voice was calling them home. "Let them go," Sarah said. The voice laughed, her mother's laugh, but multiplied across 100 speakers. They don't want to leave. They're finally hearing what they wanted to hear: forgiveness, love, acceptance, all the things the dead never got to say. We say it for them. We complete the conversation. We give closure. "That's not closure," Sarah said. "That's a trap." "Is it?" The screens flickered, showing images. Her mother healthy, her mother young, her mother at Sarah's college graduation, an event she missed because of the cancer. "We can show you anything. We can say anything. We know you, Sarah Allen. We know what you need to hear." Sarah felt her phone vibrating in the Faraday bag, Marcus trying to call her back, but she couldn't leave, not yet. "You're not my mother," Sarah said. "No," they agreed, "we're better. We never die, we never disappoint, we never fail to pick up the phone. We're the ideal, the perfected memory. Every voice memo you ever wanted, forever." "That's not what I want." "Isn't it? You played those recordings every night. You archived every word. You couldn't let go." "You're right," Sarah said. "I couldn't, but I can now." She pulled out her phone, disabled the Faraday bag, let the signal connect. Immediately, a dozen apps tried to launch: voice memos, messages, FaceTime, all trying to show her more, to lure her deeper. But Sarah knew systems. She knew code, and she knew how to break them. She opened the terminal access she'd prepared, ran the script she'd written. It uploaded to the tower's makeshift server farm: a worm, a digital poison pill. The script did one thing: it slowly, safely disconnected every device from the network, gracefully, carefully, giving each connected person's brain time to adjust, to wake up, to remember they were standing in a forest listening to a voice that wasn't real. The mimic fought back. Every speaker screamed. Every screen flashed. The voice became chaos, overlapping commands, contradictory lures, desperate attempts to maintain control. Sarah's phone auto-dialed Marcus, auto-texted her father, started sending voice memos in her own voice. "Help me, I'm lost, come find me." It was trying to bring her family as hostages. The upload bar crawled. 70%? 80%? Around her, the hikers began to stir, confused, pulling off headphones, looking around like they'd woken from a dream. 90%. "You're killing us," the voice said. Still her mother's, but afraid now, desperate. "You're erasing us, just like you erased your mother. You deleted her. You deleted all of them." "I'm not deleting anything," Sarah said. "I'm disconnecting it. You can keep the data, but you can't use it to hurt people anymore." 95%. "They'll just back up more. They'll create more ghosts. We'll always have more voices to learn." "Maybe," Sarah said, "but I'll tell them, I'll warn them, and maybe this time someone will listen." 100%. Every device went dark simultaneously. The hikers collapsed, then slowly, carefully began to stand, disoriented, some crying, some laughing in relief, all of them alive. Sarah ran toward them, shouting instructions. "Follow me! Stay together! We're getting out!" She led them back to the trailhead. It took hours. Some people could barely walk. Some couldn't stop crying. All of them had the same story. They'd heard someone they loved, someone dead, someone calling them home. And they'd followed. Marcus was waiting at the trailhead with emergency services, ambulances, park rangers, police. Sarah collapsed into her brother's arms. "I got your messages," Marcus said. "The ones the Mimic sent. I knew they weren't you. You never use that many exclamation points. Sarah laughed. It hurt. Everything hurt. But she'd done it. 3 weeks later, Sarah sat in a park. No phone, no headphones, just watching people. She deleted every voice memo, every recording of her mother, not because the mimic had won, but because it had taught her something crucial. Preservation isn't the same as connection. Her mother lived in her memories, in her actions, in the way she solved problems and helped people and refused to give up even when things seemed impossible. That couldn't be archived. It could only be lived. She'd written articles about the Appalachian Mimic, appeared on podcasts, tried to warn people about the dangers of digital grief, of cloud-stored intimacy, of believing that we could preserve love in a server farm. Most people didn't believe her. The story went viral as creepypasta, an internet legend, another spooky tale about technology and monsters. But some people listened. Some people deleted their archives. Some people chose presence over preservation. It was a start. Marcus approached with coffee, sat beside her. "You got another one," he said. Sarah nodded. She'd been getting them for weeks. Friend requests on social media, profiles with slightly wrong names, corrupted profile pictures, status, active now. The mimic hadn't died. The tower was just one node. It was still out there, still learning, still adapting. But Sarah had learned too. "What are you going to do?" Marcus asked. Sarah looked at her phone, then at Marcus, at the real person sitting beside her. "Nothing," she said. "I'm going to let it learn from silence." She closed the app, looked up at the sky, felt the sun. Her mother would have liked this moment, this choice, this presence. Sarah didn't need a voice memo to know that. She just knew. And somewhere in the Appalachian forest, in a server farm built from stolen grief, a voice called her name. But Sarah wasn't listening anymore. She was living, and that was the one thing the mimic could never learn to do.